Why hello everybody, Spencer here, also known as Lego Dude 11, and in today's video, this is The Umbrella Academy Season 4 spoiler review. So without further ado, let's discuss. Alrighty, so, as I just said, this is a spoiler review, so get out now if you don't want to be spoiled by Season 4, which is the final season. The final season. I can't believe that Netflix has finally finished a show. They're going to finish 3 shows within the next span of the next 2 years. Within this year and next year, they're going to finish 3 shows. This one, Cobra Kai, and Stranger Things Season 5. Allegedly. I hope that Stranger Things can finish next year. I bet it is. I'm hopeful that they're coming out with it. So, can't wait for that season. I'm very happy that they're finished 3 shows. And Arcane is going to finish as well, like this year as well. So, excited. I never finished a Netflix an original series in my life. But this one, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I started this, I binged all 3 seasons back during COVID. So it was one of those COVID watches. And like I said, I watched House of the Dragon, seasons 1 and 2. I wish I had done a whole Game of Thrones binge during COVID. But this was one of those shows I watched during COVID. And I actually quite liked, I was really into it. All 3 seasons. And funny enough, my dad was like, you should watch it, you should watch it, you should watch it. And I never really got around to it. And then when I finally did watch it, I was like, I didn't understand the concept quite at first. And I was really invested as the seasons went on. And the 3rd season trailer, the way the 2nd season ended with that one apocalypse ending, and the way they had that epic cliffhanger of the Sparrow Academy with Ben, I was like a great cliffhanger. And then they do the season 3 story, great. I love that season 3 trailer with the Ballroom Blitz song. I love that. It's in my playlist. And then they get into that season 3 finale, and it just seems very lackluster. It's like the world is run by Hargraves. It seemed very dark and gloomy. And I don't really like it when a show goes from big, vibrant, and colorful, sort of, not the whole show's bright and colorful, but more so, it's dark, there's apocalypses, but then when we get into the cliffhanger of the 3rd season, when it's dark and gloomy, like Batman, it's that's not really what the show was, had swearing, but it didn't feel like it was dark and gloomy. It felt like it was fun and goofy, like Doom Patrol. But now, I am honest to say that this season may feel like a Doom Patrol finale season to me. And I'll elaborate. If you don't understand what that means, as I specified before, how Doom Patrol, I like the show, it just feels like this. And this season, it felt like the show was on a rise, and then here we go into the finale. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't some shining golden stars, there's some shining light in this season. There is. Case in point, there's a great running gag throughout the season where they are in a van, and the only song that's playing is Baby Shark, do 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 Baby Shark, and I'm like, it's awesome. And Diego's like, they're like, turn the song off. Diego's like, it's the only song I got, and it was the best laugh out loud moment I had throughout the whole season. And one of the things is they bring in these characters, Gene and Jean. First off, our superpowered characters don't have their superpowers like they're in this timeline like last season. And they get him back in episode 2 by drinking this little potion thing that they have, and that Ben gives them. And the Ben's not even from their timeline, which is completely fine. But it just makes for it reminds me of Guardians 3, where it's we have to bring in this character, we have to bring in the Gamora from this timeline because he's there now, because she's there now. We have to bring in Ben now because he's there from last season. You remember them? And in season 1, yeah, he died, but it was I don't know, he's there. Because it just feels like he's there to be there, part of the family, because he's I don't know you guys are assholes. And I'm like, okay, thanks for, telling me that they are, but, I don't know. And, they bring in these characters, Gene and Jean. Gene with a J, Gene with a G. And they're played by Megan Mullally and Ron Swanson. Not really Ron Swanson. Ron Swanson's character, Nick Offerman. Nick Offerman, who plays Ron Swanson in Parks and Rec. I love them both in Parks and Rec, but it feels like they're. Let me give me something straight. They have great chemistry, but it felt like to me, but especially by when So David Cross is also in this season. I like him a lot, but then it felt like because Reginald's wife Abigail they're both aliens. I didn't like that either. It felt like there was subplot. You know, when Reginald was revealed to be an alien, I was like, I want to learn more about that. And then the kids go, oh my god, he's the alien. Maybe they found that out, but I wanted them to do more with that. And this episode 6 seasons, and it feels like they're shrunken down. You don't get time to breathe. It makes me mad. And other thing is, so when when Abigail's alien takes over David Cross, and then Abigail as David Cross sees David Cross is played Megamind. He was in Alvin the Chipmunk, played Minion in Megamind. He was played Crane in Kung Fu Panda, and he was in Alvin the Chipmunks. He was in an episode of Community. He kills Nick Offerman's character, and then Abigail takes over for Nick Offerman. And I'm going, okay, but now it's not even that character anymore. Now Nick Offerman is obviously doing the part, but he's playing like Abigail is him. And it just felt like Gene and Gene were there like, hey guys, we're a couple in real life and we're a couple in this. Hey, hi. I'm just like, I'm not feeling it. I felt the chemistry. I just didn't really like them in the show. It felt like a totally separate show. I knew it was Umbrella Academy. Something about it to me, it just felt like this being 6 episodes really. And let me like say something else. I was into the show, but by the end, see, my other problem is I have high certainty that Stranger Things is going to be completely done way better, because by the end of this, it's just like I want to kick in the spoilers, because I feel like at this point I just really don't care. And let me say, it's like I said I didn't care about The Acolyte or Bad Batch, but this I like more than Acolyte. Let's not put a damper on things. But I just, by the end, they all die. Let's put it that way, they all die. There's this whole timeline thing so like, Five and Lila basically kind of make out. They do make out. Kind of an interesting story. And I was like, they do all these things that there's this Jennifer and Ben storyline, because Jennifer is this girl that they tried to save back when they were kids. And the dad wouldn't let them in this one timeline. So then Jennifer was in this one timeline, that in the present timeline they're in right now, current timeline, I shouldn't say present. And Ben, if they touch each other, they're going to unleash the cleanse, and they become like these gross monsters, and become this kaiju, kraken type thing. Not kraken, but like monster. It's absurd. And it's another apocalypse and Earth world-ending threat. And then, apparently, in the midst of this, there's like Klaus is on his side mission. He's making money off of his dead powers, bringing ghosts back, having intercourse with people, and then he's buried under a grave of a greyhound, dead dog, and then, Diego and Luther are doing a mission, attacking people with the CIA. That was fun with the Secret Agent Man song. I like that a lot. One of my favorite parts of the season. And then we get Abigail, or Allison, and her daughter. Her daughter was in the movie Good Boys. Love that movie. Claire, who is the daughter of Allison. And they're going to look for Klaus. They're trying to find him. They're just doing a random thing. And then Victor, who was Vanya, is with the dad trying to stop the thing. And at the end, they all die. Five and Lila have this like little relationship thing, and Diego's like, "You cheated on me," and they're like, "No, they don't love each other. I don't love him anymore." It's like they were gone for 6 years, 5 months, and 2 days, and they go through various timelines on the subway, mysterious subway that's like they blip to it. 5 blips to it. 5 is a great character, by the way, but and then there's this 5 guy goes to this diner and has lunch with a bunch of himself. Sees a bunch of themselves, and when he's on the subway, and he figures out a way to just stop a family. I was so confused. I'm like, leave! He tells the family there's a way to leave, and they're like, no, let's just die here. So the big cleanse just swallows them up and eats them. And after the way the season ends, and there's way more stuff, but one of the things that I'm just like, that's it? Like, you just die. And it's like, well, and then it goes to a completely different timeline where all our family members are fine, where the in-laws of Diego is fine, the daughter Clara is fine, and maybe I have to understand, maybe I have to watch a video of what specifically happened. I was a little bit confused. When this season started, I was like, I wanted a little bit more. It felt like it would start off very slow, very confusing, because I didn't intentionally forget that they had power, that they didn't have powers. I remember that from before, but I just wanted more of an explanation about, because when season 3 started, and they're like, "This is the Sparrow Academy," because that's how season 2 ended. This is the Sparrow Academy. I was so excited. I was like, "Yeah, who's the Sparrow Academy? What's going on here?" Right? Yeah, where's the? It just felt like this season started a very slow, because they're all separated. It felt like this was the Avengers Endgame Doom Patrol, very slow, somber, and mediocre season. It didn't feel like it. And I feel very bummed out because this season is funny and still bonkers and just weird, not good stuff. And I don't disagree with the Rotten Tomato score, but I'm like, what happened? Because it's interesting. It has some very interesting stuff woven in there, but I'm like, what happened? And I'm going to see Borderlands tomorrow, and that Rotten Tomatoes score baffles me. But it's another story for another time until I get to my Borderlands review. Stay tuned for next week, or later this week, I guess. But I'm like, I just don't completely understand. Like, I don't know. It fascinates me because there's some interesting storytelling going on here, and it's not that there's bad stuff within this season, but it feels like for what you get, just a lot of great stuff in those first 3 seasons. I'm disappointed by this last season, and I saw this great comment on a post about it. It was like, there's a rumor going around that you should just stop at the end of season 3 and don't watch season 4. I'm like, that would be great, but as a guy that loves watching TV and movies and content, it's hard for me to stop when I know that something has its final season. For instance, Bad Batch, when I knew that season 3 is going to be the final season, I'm like, okay, well, why stop here? I gotta just finish it now. Kind of goes for any show, really. Like, I just continue watching a franchise I love. And it really goes for... the only thing I stopped watching is The Dark Crystal on Netflix, which only had 1 season, 1 and only, and I never finished the first season, so... it's the only thing... Well, and I stopped watching the Raising Dion show on Netflix, too, because it just didn't do much for me. But I really loved Umbrella Academy, and I finished it, and it was interesting. Let me say this much: there are things like I just said, Raising Dion for me had a lot of shows had a lot of scenes that were in dark. This show knows how to light up scenes. It knows how to light up scenes. It knows how to do fighting really well. It knows how to do storytelling. But the way they brought this season to life just is not the same as what the first 3 seasons were. So I don't know. That's just me. Like the whole Lila 5 thing, it just felt like we were like, what are we doing in this season? Like, this is so out of character. Like, I'm all for changing characters, but in the last season, if this was season 2, and like, hey, let's have these characters make out, and then like have this developing love triangle going across the last 2 seasons, and then like resolve a happy ending. But it felt like we were left with the happy, somber ending because they're all gone. Oh no! Well, and then these flowers bloomed in the end credits, and I'm like, is that supposed to represent them? They're back to life? I don't know. I need to watch an explanation video because I understood, but I'm left. That's what I actually put this in my Instagram post and what I'm going to put in Rotten Tomatoes. I need to figure out the Rotten Tomatoes thing. But in my Instagram post, I said, I'm left asking questions that I shouldn't be. I should be understanding your full ending to your show. So, I don't know. That's just my take on it. But let me know what you thought in the comment section below, because let me know if I'm missing something. I'm going to go look this up, but let me know. I'm not trying to rant. I had a great time watching it. As you guys may know, like, I didn't really enjoy the Sandy Cheeks movie. I'm a big SpongeBob fan. I didn't enjoy Acolyte at all. That was a just huge, massive Star Wars Lucasfilm disappointment. And the Bad Batch this year I didn't enjoy. So there's a few things this year I'm not liking. Even Megamind 2, I never watched that, but that was a complete crap. So I cannot wait to go watch Borderlands tomorrow and see if that raises any excitement. I'm going to be in for the ride. I'm glad it's only an hour and 48 minutes, but will that be better or worse than this season? We'll find out. Stay tuned. Coming soon to a movie theater near you. Coming soon to a YouTube channel near you. Don't forget to leave a like on this video. Well, I hope. Well, I did like Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm very excited for Beetlejuice. So coming up soon. Don't forget to leave a like on this video. Don't forget to leave a like. Why do I keep saying leave a like? Good question. I don't know. Subscribe to the channel, LegoDude11, as it stays currently right now. And my link, Boba Fett Strike Master over on Instagram, is not popping up, but it's down in the description of this video. Don't leave a like, subscribe, follow me. Don't forget to keep calm, play Lego. Oh, I should give a score before I end the video. You know, the show overall is probably now an 8 out of 10. I would have said 9 out of 10 before, but this season is definitely a I'm gonna give it middle of the road, 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. I can't give it. I don't want to give it lower to seem like a complete doofus or a dork, or I don't want to make it higher and say like I'm praising everything because it's awesome. So I'm gonna give it middle of the road, 5 out of 10, and the whole show as the entire show as a whole is 8 out of 10. So that's my beautiful math for you. Make with that as you will. I just think that's what it should be. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me. Don't forget to keep calm, play Lego, watch stuff. Peace out, everyone.